Ladies and gentlemen, live from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans. 1977, episode 2468 of the show. And it is August 17, 2025, 12:04 a.m. It's already a Sunday morning. And I know you're thinking, everybody's supposed to be sleeping, man. But even though I have the weekend off, I get to stay up late. Because I do have the weekend on, waking up at 6:15 in the morning every single weekday. So Triple Mania is just gotten over, but we're going to talk about what got over technically last night. That would be because it's still night out, but you get the idea. Collision was so this is the Collision Event Center for the 16th of of August 2025, and and it is something that, yeah, I'm sorry, folks. I feel like I'm off my game today. I don't know why, but I am. It's, like I said, it's not been a very good month for me at all. So, let's I'm trying to ease up into it. All right, so we're going to talk about what happened on Collision, technically last night on August 16, 2025. Let's talk about Collision to start off. As you know, the road to Forbidden Door. As you know, a week from today, 1 week from today, technically Sunday, the Forbidden Door pay-per-view will be on. Will be like, I think 1-2 in the afternoon, I do believe. So check it out there. A lot of matches are happening. Timeless Toni Storm, the AEW Women's World Champion, whose T-shirt I got not too long ago, is decided to kick off AEW Collision to address the Cincinnati crowd and Athena, and she does that. Well, since you call yourself the fallen goddess, well, I must pray. And she goes, milk, lemonade around the back where fudge is made. I'm laughing. Toni Storm is hilarious. I'm like, why don't the WWE let her do this? I mean, and if she comes back, if she ever comes back, ever decides to come back to the WWE, I think they should let her do this gimmick because it's hilarious. I love it. I mean, or she could take it up to a level where she can be like the 80s wild child and go there and have her hair done up in the 80s style. She would look pretty cute, but anyways, ever since she came to AEW, she's been hilarious, and you gotta love that. Well, so then as she was doing her little prayer, Athena tried to attack her, but Toni Storm saw it coming. Okay, and then we talk about how beautiful Toni Storm is, but. So Billy Starks decided to, when Toni Storm was getting the upper hand, here comes Billy Starks. And Billy Starks grabs her to the ring, and then as, Athena was mocking Toni Storm, the interim Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion, Mina Shirakawa, showed up. I was like, yes! And then they went at it, so I would not be surprised on Dynamite, the Dynamite before the Forbidden Door. There would be a women's tag match with Athena and Billy Starks versus Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. So, but Mina Shirakawa's got her own match at Death Before Dishonor, I believe, as Mina Shirakawa will be challenging Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship as well. So, so best of luck to Mina Shirakawa. Seeing Mina and Toni back together again, that makes me smile. Those two are my favorite girls. But the night's not over yet. Jet Speed went up against the Death Riders of Wheeler Yuta and John Moxley. Marina Shafir, of course, she has to get involved in the matchup. And despite an accidental friendly fire by Yuta on Moxley, they resorted to cheating tactics to defeat Jet Speed in the tag team matchup. The Outrunners were camping and training, video montage like in the 80s. They were roasting marshmallows and having a lot of fishing and having a lot of fun. What are they training for? Who knows with the Outrunners, but I'll tell you one thing. God love the Outrunners. They always like to do the old school thing. I just like, Outrunners are pretty cool. Well, Ricochet, aha! Every time I see Ricochet, he does that stupid aha! You got the Gates of Agony, Bishop Khan, and Tola Leona. You got the What's Happening crew now. You got Ricochet thinks he's Raj Thomas. You got Bishop Khan thinks he's Dwayne, and Tola Leona can play the rerun. It's annoying. That's annoying. It's stupid, but I get to do it. Anybody can do it. But Ricochet is taking out a newcomer to the AEW roster. That's right. Mr. Ace Austin, the Inevitable, former TNA standout, is now All Elite. They just signed him not too long ago. And I just hope him and Gia Miller don't break up. If they do, I can add Gia Miller to my favorite female wrestling personality list, if you know what I mean. Anyways, Ace Austin and Ricochet went one-on-one. The GOA arrived and got involved during the matchup, which cost Ace Austin the matchup as Ricochet picks up the victory. And I thought somebody, the phone went off. Okay, and then GOA attacked Austin after the matchup. Renee Paquette interviewed the Hurt Syndicate, and they were talking about who would win between FTR and Bandito, and Brodito, and then all of a sudden they forgot about MJF, which is good. They can focus on MJF's a jerk, if you ask me. I don't know why he wants to use the Hurt Syndicate. I said FTR and MJF should reunite as a freaking pinnacle, for goodness sakes. That's how I feel. So you can add that idiot Stokely Hathaway to the mix. Stokely Hathaway, he's a jerk and a half. Ding dong. And then she went back to interview Paragon, and hologram Tomohiro Ishii and interrupts Paragon. It seems like Roderick Strong's trying to be serious, but not accepting of the conglomeration that Kyle O'Reilly's still part of, and Tomohiro Ishii and hologram seems to follow him wherever he goes, and and he said we gotta go. And Paragon went up against Big Shotty Lee Johnson and Blake Christian, and Paragon picked up the victory, and Ishii and Hologram came back out to celebrate with him, and then Roderick says, "We gotta go." I think Paragon conglomeration should join forces known as the Paragon conglomeration. The Paragonic conglomeration. I don't know. That should work. I don't know. Anyways, so FTR decided to attack Bandito in the back and took his mask. And freaking Big Stoke. I don't want to call him Big Stoke. He ain't that big. He's, he's so small he makes Swagger look like a giant, for goodness sakes. Anyways, so Brody King saw what was going on and fights off FTR. And then when FTR was kind of knocked out, Brody King decided to go after Big Stoke, who threw powder in his eyes. And then FTR hit him with a shatter machine, took him out, and they just said the belts belong to us. If FTR wins, I hope the Hurt Syndicate beats the crap out of them. And I hope Bobby Lashley takes Stokely Hathaway and throws him like a lawn dart into the 10th row. Dirtbag. Well, Skyfly addresses the Down Callis family. And he said, hey, do it any way you want. We'll challenge you to a kind of matchup. Singles, tag, trios, and then Layla Grace says, and Don Callis family, we're going to F you up. And then Christopher Renee goes, hey, remember, there's $5 in the swear jar. That's the deal. So she goes, here's 10. She goes, here's 10 because this is BS. And walked out and went, That's funny. So, then the women's 100,000 fatal four-way matchup: Julia Hart versus Penelope Ford versus Chris Statlander versus Anna Jay. And the Triangle Madness. All right. So, Chris Statlander is Saturday night wins the matchup, and then Triangle Madness, Penelope Ford and Megan Bain were attacking Statlander and Joy after the matchup. Tay Mello and Queen Amanada got involved in the post-match brawl, but then Harley Cameron makes her return with her cat mask, protective cat mask, and has this little chain with a stick in her hand. I don't know if it was nunchucks or what, but it seems like she wants a piece of Miss Megan Bain. You know what? Mask or not, Harley Cameron looks gorgeous. Yeah, so I got to see Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, and Timeless Tony Storm one night on my TV screen. I'm a happy dude. I'm a happy dude. I'm a happy dude. Okay? And then Kyle Fletcher with Hechicero and Lance Archer addresses Hiromu Takahashi, and I believe all three members of those three members of Don Callis family will take on Takahashi and Jet Speed in a trios match, I believe, this coming Wednesday night on Dynamite. And then Renee Paquette interviewed Statlander and Cameron afterwards, and Harley Cameron was about to say something. And then Death Riders, Killjoys, Death Riders, please. And then Rock said, that's not bad. And he goes like this, and then Willie does a good job out there, and he wanted to do a fist bump, but Statlander's like, no. Wheeler Yuta, your Quantum Ranger on crack, and you, John Moxley. Here's an idea, skedaddle. Don't kill my buzz when my girl Harley Cameron was about to be interviewed, you dopes. Sheepers, what is it? Oh, people in AEW are so rude sometimes. Oh my God. Well, anyways, Juice Robinson went one-on-one with Brian Keith. During the matchup, Big Bill and Austin Gunn fight during the matchup, but in the end, Juice Robinson ended up picking up the victory. In attendance, Cincinnati Reds catcher Jose Trevino was there. And then Renee Paquette interviewed Anthony Bowens, who said, it's supposed to be my time to break out from the Acclaim. I was supposed to be the popular star. And then, but he's, the people going after, people are cheering Max Caster and that stupid chant. He's a loser, so. And as you know, I think next week they'll have a Platinum Max Caster International Open Challenge, so that's going to be very interesting. Then the main event, the four-way technical spectacle, which the winner of the match will face Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP World Heavyweight title at Forbidden Door. Daniel Garcia versus Nigel McGuinness versus the Ring of Honor Men's Pure Champion Lee Moriarty and Hechicero, the Don Callis family. McGuinness ends up winning the match and left Daniel Garcia devastated because he was very, very close to winning that matchup. And then Renee Paquette interviewed McGuinness after the matchup, and then Nigel McGuinness decided was gracious enough to ask Garcia to be in his corner at the Forbidden Door for that title match. So it'll be very interesting to see how this develops. Well, that's all the time that we have on this episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Thank you for tuning in. On the next episode, we're going to talk about Triple Mania 33. All right, I will see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.